Colorado High School Activities Association baseball is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. From Cortez, the Brush Beat Diggers will face the Pagosa Springs Pirates. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Fergus. We'll set lineups and we'll be able to get this game going. The previous game, Montezuma Cortez ended up winning by 10 runs, 14-4, over Berthoud in 6 innings. And so they needed to prep the field, get everything started so that these two teams could get out and do their infield, outfield. They're finishing up. Brush finished theirs. Pagosa is finishing theirs right at this moment. We will do this. Starting lineup brought to you by Stubbs. Sports fans, when you're traveling, you need one stop that has it all. On I-76, take exit 66A in Wiggins at Stubbs. For Brush coming into this game, they have a 13-10 record, 4-6 in league. State rank, they are 92nd, and they are facing Pagosa Springs. And Pagosa Springs has an identical record, 13-10. They're 3-5 in their 3A Intermountain League, and their state rank is 124th. 14 versus 19 on the CHASA seeding index and how this game laid out. We will do the lineups here for Brush. Malachi Teal will be in left field, Dylan Krob in center field, Dakota Proctor will be in right, Trenton Garrett will be at third, Landon Mesh at shortstop, Avesvale Betrez at second base, Keaton Gillick will be at first base, behind the plate is Eli Klein, and Edgar Ortiz will be on the mound for the Beat Diggers. I'll go through their batting order shortly, but here is the lineup that they'll be facing. Poyer will hit first, Gonzalez will hit second, Taylor Wells will hit third and pitch. Soule, S-O-W-L-E, Soule is going to be behind the plate, hits fourth. Limebrook will hit in the designated hitter at number 5. Bellini will hit sixth. Dempster will hit 7th. Moncada 8th. And Hudson Davis will hit 9th. Uguchi will be in right field. He'll be the one that's being pinch designated hitter for. For the Beat Diggers, Landon Mesh will lead off. Trenton Garrett will hit second. Keaton Gillick will hit third. Edgar Ortiz in the 4-hole. Dylan Krob hits 5th. Azavale Betrez will hit 6th. Dakota Proctor 7th. Eli Klein will hit 8th. Malachi Teal will hit 9th. And the umpires are going to take the field. And we will cover just about everything that we can in order to be able to get this game going for you. I tell you what, it's a long way down here. And the Beat Diggers need to do what they need to do in order to be able to get to the championship game of this 3-seeded regional. Montezuma Cortez, the 3-seed, hosts, and Brush has an excellent opportunity in order to be able to take it to the Pagosa Springs Pirates. So the keys to the game, brought to you by B&B Appliance. With over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances to your needs. Stop by 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. Pre-game show is keys to the contest. Keys to the contest for the Beat Diggers: throw strikes and get ahead in the count. Not only that, as Coach Odell and one of the umpires was racing to the home plate, and I think Tom just said, "Hey, I'll race you," and there they go. Anyway, on offense for the Beat Diggers, what they need to do is be able to take every advantage in order to be able to get on base. And as they get on base, they need to capitalize on that and be able to score. If they get runners at second and third, they need to get those runs in. And they do that, and they'll take care of business. Everything I see, on statistics, and of course statistics can lie, or they can definitely tell you the truth as to exactly what's going on. I'd say the pitching for Pagosa Springs, not that great, but yet you never know. Taylor Wells is a sophomore, and he comes into the game with a 5.03 ERA. It's going to be his 13th appearance as a sophomore. He's the number 1 for the Pirates. He has a 6-4 record, 48 2/3 innings, and in those 48 2/3, he's given up 36 base on balls, which is just a little bit less than 1 per inning, and 57 strikeouts. So just a hair over one strikeout per inning. And so we'll just see how Brush is able to capitalize on the sophomores' inexperience, perhaps, and see if they can put up some runs, some big numbers, some crooked numbers on the scoreboard, and be able to take care of the business that they need. For Brush on the hill is going to be Edgar Ortiz. 1-0 is his record, a 4.58 ERA. This will be his 7th appearance. 18 and a third innings. In those 18 and a third innings, 10 base on balls and 16 strikeouts. Brush will be taking the field shortly as they finish up right here at home plate. Let's take 30 seconds. We'll be right back. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. See what our temperature is here in Cortez. Game time temperature. I'm looking. It's not coming up. How come it's not coming up? 80 degrees. Game time temperature. We will have a start here shortly. 12:40 is going to be our time. And the Brush Beat Diggers are going to play the Pagosa Springs Pirates. Let's see if we can get a W to be able to move on to the championship game against Montezuma Cortez. That game would be approximately a half an hour after the conclusion of this game. Edgar Ortiz will be on the hill. Teal, Malachi Teal in left, Dylan Crobin Sr. in center, Dakota Proctor in right, Trenton Garrett at third, Landon Mesh at shortstop, Azael Betrez at second base, Keaton Jellick at first, Eli Klein behind the plate, and Edgar Ortiz on the hill. So we got blue sky all the way around. There's clouds in the distance, but it's a beautiful day. There's a slight breeze out of the south-southwest, and this field is oriented to where the ball would, that breeze is blowing towards the right field corner. So we'll see how that affects things. It's not blowing hard, maybe 7 to 10 miles per hour. So Edgar Ortiz finishes up his warm-up tosses. And for Pagosa Springs, coming to the plate is Zach Poyer. He's a senior. Poyer is hitting .364. He has 28 hits and 25 RBIs, 10 doubles, and 1 triple. He'll lead off for these Pirates. Pirates are wearing their gray uniforms with black pinstripe down the leg and black numerals and lettering. For the Beat Diggers, they're wearing their home whites, and they've got their white uniforms, and it's got the gold with the maroon numerals and lettering. And we're going to say, let's play ball in Montezuma Cortez. We're talking playoff baseball. Edgar Ortiz on the hill for the Beat Diggers. The first pitch from Edgar Ortiz to Zach Poyer is hit towards Landon Mesh at shortstop. 2 hops over to first. Keaton Jellick. 6-3 is the put out. Sebastian Gonzalez comes to hit for Pagosa. .342 is his batting average. 25 hits, 15 RBIs, 6 doubles. Colors for Pagosa is black with Vegas gold. First pitch to Gonzalez, a strike at the knees. Edgar ahead in the count. No balls and a strike. Top of the first inning. Pitch. It's just outside. Ball on a strike. 1 out here in the top of the first inning. No score. Beautiful day for baseball. That ball's hit up the middle for the base hit. So no hitter for Edgar as that ball gets to the outfielder as it gets past Betrez's glove, extended glove at second base. Taylor Wells comes to the plate, hitting .417, 30 hits, 17 RBIs, 11 doubles, 2 triples. Taylor Wells wears number 3 for the Pirates. Lead at first, 2-step lead. Pitch just upstairs. Ball, no strikes to Taylor Wells. Taylor Wells has his pants hiked up to his knees and he's got black socks on. That ball is foul tipped. Umpire just calls it strike. I thought it was a foul tip, but it is a strike nonetheless. 1 ball, 1 strike, but Gonzalez moves to second base on the passed ball. So runner in scoring position for Pagosa, top of the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second base. Edgar Ortiz, the pitch to the plate. And that ball's hit out to right field. Proctor settles underneath it, catches it, and we got a tag up, sacrifice fly as Gonzalez goes from second to third. So the sacrifice fly to right field, 2 outs in the inning. Runner at third base. Aaron Soule comes to the plate. He's the catcher for these Pirates. Soule hitting .333, 22 hits, 22 RBIs, 3 doubles, a triple, and 1 home run. Gonzalez assigned the pitch. And that ball is hit towards third, fair over to first base. 5-3 on the put out by Trenton Garrett over to Keaton Gillick. So no runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left. Top of the first, no score. Beat Diggers coming to the plate. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Aaron Soule was the last hitter for Pagosa. He's the catcher, so he needs to put his gear on. So Taylor Wells is finishing up his warm-up tosses. As I mentioned, this is Taylor Wells' 13th appearance, 5.03 ERA, 6-4 record. For the Beat Diggers coming to the plate, Landon Mesh hitting .481, 37 hits, 16 RBIs, 9 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. So for the Beat Diggers, it'll be Mesh, Garrett, and Gillick here in the bottom of the first inning. See if Brush can put up some numbers for on the board to score. 1 more, and then he'll throw down, and then we'll be set. Landon Mesh hits from the left side. He's been right at 500, either above it or just below it all season. Landon Mesh, a good hitter for the Beat Diggers. Taylor Wells from the stretch. The pitch. That ball is fouled. No balls and a strike to number 6, Landon Mesh. The offering inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The next pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to the senior Landon Mesh. It's a long way down here from Brush, Colorado. At least 8 hours trip. And that ball is lined to right field. Base hit. 2-hopper to the right fielder. So base hit for Landon Mesh. That's a good thing. Hard line drive. Trenton Garrett comes to the plate. Trenton Garrett hitting .234, 11 hits, 7 RBIs, 3 doubles. Mesh leads off, and that ball hit to the right side, and that's going to get to the outfield grass. And Mesh is going to round second, go to third, and he's going to be safe at third. Garrett on at first with a single for Brush. That's exactly what we asked for, is to be able to have a good, productive first inning, get some runs, take care of what needs to. Keaton Jillick will come to the plate. So 2 hitters, 2 base hits. Brush with a runner 90 feet away. Garrett with a 4-step lead at first. Pitch inside to Jillick. Taylor Wells, the pitch. Nope. Pick off to first base. Garrett back in safely. Mesh at third, Garrett at first, Jillick at the plate. Throw down to second, and the ball goes to center field. The throw goes to center. Mesh comes in and scores. The pitch was a ball to Keaton Jillick. So on the play, we get an error by the catcher, and stolen base by Garrett, and then he moves up on the air. Brush with a 1-0 lead. Jillick fouls that to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. Edgar Ortiz on deck for the Beat Diggers. Another runner 90 feet away. We can put a crooked number up here in the first inning. Wouldn't that be good? The pitch. And that ball hit to the pitcher, to Taylor Wells, and Jillick out at first, 1-3 on the put out. Ground out just right at the pitcher. 1 hop, and he gets it. Garrett holds up. Edgar Ortiz comes to the plate. Dylan Krob on deck for the Beat Diggers. 1 out. Brush with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the first inning. The pitch from Wells. Pitch is upstairs. Ball and no strikes to Edgar Ortiz. Edgar Ortiz hitting .345, 19 hits, 19 RBIs, 3 doubles, triple, and 2 home runs. Curveball, strike 1. Wells, I think he telegraphed that. I'm going to have to watch him just a little bit more. The curveball. Pitch. That ball hit center field and caught. Now, the ball didn't depth perception. I thought the ball was going to make it to center field. The shortstop ends up going onto the grass and behind second base and runs that down for the out. So 2 outs on the short pop-up. Garrett holds Dylan Krob to the plate. Dylan Krob, the senior, hitting .233, 14 hits, 19 RBIs, 5 doubles. Come on, Dylan, get a base hit right here. Swings and misses. No balls and a strike. Brush with 1 run in. Taylor Wells, the pitch. Swung and missed. Dylan Krob down on the count. No balls, 2 strikes. See if number 8, Dylan Krob, puts the ball in play. Taylor Wells, next pitch. And that ball hit foul. Past the runner, Garrett, at third, and down the left field line. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Brush with a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the first inning. Taylor Wells, the sign from Sol, the pitch. That ball's fouled out of play down the right field line. Azavel Betrez on deck. Looking forward to coming to the plate here in the first. The 0-2 pitch. Swung and missed, strike 3. So for Brush, 1 run on 2 hits. They leave a runner after 1 complete inning of play. Brush 1, Pagosa Springs 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Score update, Sterling, they lost to Wellington 6-5. That's Region 6. So Sterling eliminated. Sterling made a pretty good run. I thought perhaps they might even be one of the hosts, but just the way everything fleshed out. Let's see, 6. Sterling was the 11 seed. Wellington would have been the 22 seed. Let's see, Kaysen Limebrook comes to the plate, hitting .366, 15 hits, 10 RBIs, 2 doubles. Pitch a strike. Now pitches a ball to Kaysen Limebrook. Ortiz, the pitch, just outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Kaysen Limebrook. Sophomore for the Pagosa Springs Pirates. 2 seniors working together in that pitch in 3 balls, no strikes to Kaysen Limebrook. 2 seniors, Edgar Ortiz, Eli Klein. Pitch, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to lead off the top of the second inning. Noah Belina will come to the plate. Belina hitting .295, 18 hits, 14 RBIs, 7 doubles, 2 triples. For number 2, Belina, Edgar Ortiz throws over to Keaton Jillick, and the ball gets away from Jillick. So Ortiz, Limebrook goes to second. Umpire is going to have him come back to first base. So no error for Brush. I'm not sure why, if there was time at the plate, I think. Umpire at the plate had time. So Limebrook still at first. Belina will come and hit the sophomore. So Limebrook, a sophomore. Belina, a sophomore. Edgar Ortiz, the pitch. Strike outside corner at the knees. Limebrook not going anywhere at first base. Pitch just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Limebrook doesn't have an athletic stance at first base. And that pitch, strike, check swing strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Belina. So I don't think Limebrook is going anywhere. I mean, just the way he stands over at first base. I mean, it's just not athletic to where he's going to be able to take off. He's not even on the balls at his feet. And that ball hit out to left center field for a base hit by Belina. Krob up with it, and Limebrook over to second on the hit by Belina, single. So the first 2 reach here in the top of the second. Brush with a 1-0 lead over Pagosa. Dylan Dempster comes to the plate, hitting .328. 21 hits, 17 RBIs, 2 doubles. So runners at first and second, nobody out. That ball is hit towards third, and Garrett picks it up and runs back to the bag for the out. So fielder's choice. So runners at first and second remain with 1 out. Jonathan Makata comes to the plate, hitting .231. Hits from the left side, 12 hits, 11 RBIs for number 10, Jonathan Makata. 1 out. Pitch low. Ortiz, the pitch, just outside to the left-handed hitting Jonathan Moncada. Sophomore, 3 sophomores in a row, and they get another sophomore, Hudson Davis, coming to the plate in the 9-hole for the Pirates. 1-1 pitch outside and high. I'm sorry, that wasn't a 1-1 pitch. That was a 2-0 pitch. Now it's 3-0. 3-0. Come on, Edgar, throw strikes right here, bud. Pitch, strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Moncada. Get a double play right here, Brush. Come on now. Ortiz, the pitch, ball 4. So the second base on ball given up by Ortiz this inning. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Hudson Davis comes to the plate, number 15, another sophomore. 276 is the batting average. 8 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 doubles. He's got a green bat, and he has pink batting gloves, both hands. Boy, is that a contrast. Edgar Ortiz from the full windup. Bases are loaded. Brush with a 1-0 lead. Top of the second inning. Pitch is outside. Edgar Ortiz, 12 balls, 11 strikes, 23 pitches. He's given up 2 base on balls this inning. Pitch, Ortiz to the plate, and that ball hit towards second, over to Betrez, to Mesh, over to first. 4-6-3 double play. Rush gets out of the inning, and there was, for Pagosa Springs, no runs, and they had 1 hit, and they leave 2 on the base. So after 1.5 innings of play, Brush Beat Diggers 1, Pagosa Springs Pirates 0. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Diggers leading Pagosa Springs Pirates 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Tom Odell, head coach for the Brush Beat Diggers. And for Pagosa Springs, I have that. Where did it go? Coaches, I know he's a Wells. The coach was first name. I can't find it. Anyway, Wells is the coach. Wells is the pitcher. Sarah Wells is the statistician. So I just know there was a bunch of Wells that was in the mix. Brush and Pagosa only have one team in common, and that would be Alamosa. Brush beat Alamosa back in March, and Pagosa Springs lost to Alamosa, a doubleheader on April 11th, and that ball is just out front, and Wells picks it up, throws over to first. The umpire's going to call him out at first base. Wells fielded his position, come and grabbed it and threw. I thought it was enough in order to pull the first baseman's foot, but stretched out just right in order to be able to get that for the out. So Betrez out at first. Dakota Proctor to the plate. Swings at the first pitch, strike 1. Dakota Proctor hitting .216, 11 hits, 5 RBIs. Taylor Wells, the pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dakota Proctor. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and a strike. That ball's fouled down the right field line. Count evens at 2. Pitch between the between the third base and shortstop. Tony Gwynn's favorite spot, the 5.5 hole. And Dakota Proctor has a base hit. Base hit single. So he's at first base. Eli Klein to the plate. Malachi Teal on deck for the Beat Diggers. Eli Klein, 10 hits, 10 RBIs, 2 home runs for Eli. Hit a home run here is going to take mighty effort. And this is a big, big, big outfield. 320s down the lines. Pitch a strike. And I can't tell how deep it is in center field. What does that say out there? Is it 380, 390? Okay. Somebody has better eyesight. An umpire sitting here next to me. Pick off at first, and Proctor is back in safely. Eli Klein at the plate, down, no balls and a strike, and that pitch, attempted bunt, foul. So Klein down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. There's 2 balls sitting up over here too. Oh, 2 to Eli Klein, Dakota Proctor at first base, 1 out, and that ball is hit Eli Klein, so he'll run down to first base on the hit by pitch, and I'm sure we will have a courtesy runner, and that is going to be Bentley Talent. He's going to come in and run for Eli Klein. Eli Klein, I think he's leading the team in hit by pitches. That's his 5th. No, that's his 6th. 6th. Ben Metlin has 7. So runners at first and second, 1 out. Malachi Teal at the plate. Those 2 balls, I hope, don't come into play. So runners at first and second. Brush with a 1-0 lead. Pitches outside to Teal. So runner in scoring position. Dakota Proctor, Bentley Talent at first base. Taylor Wells, the pitch. And that ball is tapped. And Wells gets it, throws over to first base for the out. Runners move up to second and third. 2 outs in the inning. Two outs, runners at second and third. Landon Mesh at the plate. Dakota Proctor at third. Bentley Talent at second. The pitch, and that ball's hit up the middle. And we're going to get the second run coming in and scored. So Brush takes a 3-0 lead on the single by Landon Mesh. Landon Mesh hit that ball up the middle. Second baseman was able to knock it down, and as soon as Talent ended up coming around third, I heard Coach Odell go, 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 go. And so 2 runs score on the base hit by Mesh. Mesh moved up to second base. Trenton Garrett to the plate. Rush with a 3-0 lead over Pagosa Springs here in the bottom of the second inning. So 1 run in the first, 2 here in the second. Mesh on at second in scoring position. Trenton Garrett at the plate. He had a base hit his last time. And that ball's hit towards shortstop, and that ball ends up going into short left field underneath the shortstop's glove. So an error by the shortstop. Landon Mesh comes in and scores. Brush takes a 4-0 lead on the error by the shortstop, because that went right underneath his glove. So Trenton Garrett on at first. Keaton Gillick to the plate. Brush with 3 runs in the inning. And that ball's hit towards shortstop and drops it and over to first, 6-3, put out. So Brush scores 3 runs on 2 hits, and they leave a runner, and there was an error by Pagosa Springs. So after 2 complete innings of play, Brush 4, Pagosa Springs 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Diggers with a run in the first, 3 in the second for the 4-0 lead over Pagosa Springs. Edgar Ortiz on the hill for Brush. Malachi Teal in left, Dylan Crubb in center, Dakota Proctor in right, Trenton Garrett at third base, Landon Mesh at shortstop, Azavel Betrez at second, Keaton Gillick at first, Eli Klein behind the plate, and Edgar Ortiz on the hill for the Beat Diggers. 12 balls, 12 strikes, 24 pitches through first 2 innings. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. The leadoff hitter comes to the plate, Zach Poyer. As I mentioned before, he grounded out to shortstop. 364 coming into the game, 28 hits, 25 RBIs, 10 doubles and a triple. The pitch, I didn't see that. That was a ball, and that ball hit towards shortstop and into left field for a base hit. So Zach Poyer with a base hit. To lead off the 3rd inning, Brush was able to get out of the 2nd inning as they had the bases loaded. Pagosa had the bases loaded, and Brush got a 4-6-3 double play to avert giving up a run. And pick off over to first base. Ortiz keeping Poyer close. Poyer has 7 stolen bases on the season. Not the most for Pagosa Springs. And that ball, he's off and he's going, and that ball is fouled out of play. So the runner will come back to first base. Coach Wells just seeing if he can run on Eli Klein. Eli Klein's been doing really well the second half of the season. He's thrown quite a few, and as Edgar Ortiz throws over to first, he ends up throwing the ball away for the error. So an error for Brush, and Zach Poyer will go to second base on the pickoff attempt. Sebastian Gonzalez, single, his first at bat. No balls and a strike. Poyer on at second. Brush with a 4-0 lead, top of the 3rd inning. Pitches outside, ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Top of the 3rd inning. Edgar Ortiz gonna switch balls around with the umpire. Amazing thing is, he'll just take that and stick that back in his. Oh, he's going to throw it over and see if he's going to. I was going to say, hey, if I was pitching, I'd use that ball, because if you get a scuff on there, boy, I tell you, you can make the ball do amazing things. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Sebastian Gonzalez at the plate, and that pitch is wild pitch. Poyer goes to third. So Poyer only 90 feet away from Pagosa Springs scoring their first run. Brush with a 4-0 lead, top of the 3rd inning, 2 balls and a strike to Sebastian Gonzalez. Infield playing in for Brush. That ball is fouled out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Runner on third for Pagosa. Edgar Ortiz on the hill for the Beat Diggers. Pitch number 30 is on its way and in the dirt. Full count to Sebastian Gonzalez. Edgar has already walked two of them in the second inning when they loaded the bases. So the payoff pitch, that ball hit towards Abbasdale and looks him back at third and over to first base for the out. Nice play by Azavel Betrez. 4-3 on the putout. So an out. Taylor Wells comes to the plate. Wells probably their best player, pitcher, hitter, all around. If he's not pitching, I'm sure he's playing shortstop. 417 coming into the game. He's hit a sac fly in the first inning. 30 hits, 17 RBIs, 11 doubles, 2 triples. Edgar Ortiz from the full windup. The pitch, and that ball is underneath Garrett and picks it up and gets the out at first. Poyer comes in and scores. So 5-3 for the putout. The ball just got a little bit underneath Garrett. He had to reach back for it in order to pick it up. So Pagosa scores the first run of the game for their faithful. Aaron Soule comes to the plate. Nobody on, 2 outs. Brush leading 4-1. Edgar Ortiz, the pitch. Upstairs. Ball 1. Aaron Soule, S-O-W-L-E, junior, 333 coming in. And that ball hit out to center field. Dylan Krob goes back. Plenty of room and misplays it off his glove. Could have, should have, caught it. Soule gets a double. So we'll call that an error on the center fielder. Because it could have, should have been caught. Krob gets all the way out to the warning track, feels the cinder underneath his feet or the dirt underneath his feet, and looks down, and the ball hits his glove and glances away, and Soule's on at second. Kason Limebrook walked his last at bat. That ball is hit towards Landon Mesh, out, line drive. So for Pagosa Springs, they score 1 run on 1 hit, and there were 2 brush errors, and they leave a runner on base. So after 2.5 innings of play, Brush 4, Pagosa Springs 1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush with 4 runs on 4 hits. Pagosa Springs 1 run on 3 hits. Both teams have committed 2 errors. Taylor Wells finishing up his warm-up tosses. Edgar Ortiz will lead off here the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Beat Diggers. Edgar popped out to the shortstop. I thought when he hit that before that was going to make it to center field. But where I'm located, I'm not looking down on the field. I'm looking at it from field level, and depth perception is off by quite a bit. John Beltran and I, we've talked about that, just broadcasting from the ground level as opposed from an announcer's booth that's 10, 12 feet up in the air or higher. Taylor Wells, the pitch to Edgar Ortiz. Outside. A ball, no strikes to Ortiz. Wells the pitch, and that hits Ortiz, and he'll run down to first base. And Edgar Ortiz, that is his 5th hit by pitch that he's a recipient of this season. So Taylor Wells, that's a 2nd hit by pitch today. 1 strikeout for Taylor Wells. To the plate is Dylan Krob. And let's see, we have a courtesy runner. Colton Osborne is going to be the courtesy runner. for Edgar Ortiz. Osborne, two-step lead at first. The pitch is to the plate, and Dylan Krob pops that up down the right field line. Is it going to be playable? And with the umpire call, looks like he's going to call an out as the right fielder came flying in, making the grab. So Krob fouls out down the right field line. Right fielder made a sliding catch. And Colton Osborne back in at first. Azavel Betrez, that pitch hits Azavel, and he'll run down to first base. That's Taylor's Wells' third hit by pitch today. Caden Noguchi is the right fielder for Pagosa Springs. Dakota Proctor comes to the plate. Proctor with a single to left field. His last at bat. So runners at first and second, one out. Infield fly rules in effect. Pitch to the plate. That pitch is outside, ball one. Ball, no strikes, one out. Runners at first and second for Brush. Pitch on its way, and that ball is fouled at the plate. Ball and strike. Colton Osborne at second. Azavel Betrez at first. Dakota Proctor at the plate. Brush with a runner at second, runner in scoring position. Base hit would score a run. That pitch is swung at and missed by Proctor. So Proctor in the hole, one ball, two strikes. Eli Klein on deck for the Beat Diggers. The pitch from Wells in the dirt, wild pitch, and runners move up to second and third. So now we've got runners in scoring position 90 feet and 180 feet from scoring. Dakota Proctor at the plate. First base is open, one out, two balls, two strikes. Wells the pitch. Pitch is outside, full count to Dakota Proctor. Payoff pitch from number 3, Taylor Wells, to the plate, to his catcher, Aaron Soul. That ball swung at and missed. Strikeout. Wells needed that strikeout for the Pirates, but the second out in the inning. Swinging strike. That's Wells' second strikeout. He hasn't given up a base on ball, but he's given up 3 hit by pitches. Pitch just outside, low and away to Eli Klein. Klein was hit by pitch in the second inning. Pitch swung at and missed by Klein. Ball on a strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Brush with runners in scoring position. That was one of the keys to the game. You get them on, get them over, get them around to score, and that pitch swung at and missed by Eli Klein. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the senior number 10, Eli Klein. Wells, the pitch, and pitches upstairs. So we'll go to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at second and third for the Beat Diggers. Brush with a 4-1 lead over Pagosa Springs. Taylor Wells, the 2-2 pitch. Swung at and missed, strike 3. Taylor Wells gets out of it by striking out 2. Brush strands 2. So No runs, and there were no hits, 2 hit by pitches, and that was it. So Brush leads Pagosa Springs 4-1 after 3 innings. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Diggers and the Pagosa Springs Pirates. Brush 8 hours away, Pagosa Springs 2 hours away, playing in Cortez on McAndrew Field. It's a city-run park. It's a fourplex of, is it a fourplex? Threeplex of baseball fields. They've got a batting cage here, and there's tennis courts all around, pickleball courts. The rec center, I'm sure they probably got weights. They probably got racquetball. Edgar Ortiz, the pitch, upstairs to Noah Bolina, ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Bolina. Ball hit out to center field, and that ball's going to drop for a base hit. Dylan Kropp couldn't get there in order to be able to gather that in, but he got there on one hop. Dylan Dempster comes to the plate. Dempster reached on a fielder's choice as he hit the ball to Trenton Garrett at third. He stepped on third for the out, but Dempster was on at first. So Bolina on at first, Dempster at the plate. Ball hit towards Garrett at third, over to Jillick. Scoops it out of the dirt for the out. 5-3 on the putout. So an out as Bolina moves up to second base. Jonathan Moncada, he walked. In his last at bat in the second inning. So runner on at second for Pagosa. Pitch to the plate in the dirt. One ball, no strikes. One out. Brush with 4 runs. A run in the first, 3 in the second. Pagosa Springs, they scored 1 in the third. Here we are, top of the 4th inning. Pitch to the plate. Pass ball. That pitch is a ball, so 2 balls and no strikes to Jonathan Moncada. And on the pass ball, Bolina goes to third base. So Pagosa just 90 feet away from being able to score a run. Brush leading 4-1. Pitch is outside. 3 balls, no strikes to Jonathan Moncada. Pitch, strike. 3 balls and a strike. Edgar, throw a strike, bud. Come on now. The 3-1 pitch, ball 4. So Moncada draws his second base on ball. Hudson Davis comes to the plate. That's Edgar Ortiz's third base on ball that he's given up. All 3 of them had been to one of the 3 guys in the 7, 8, 9 on the batting lineup. So runners at first and third. Hudson Davis grounded out to Betrez. And that ball hit to right field, and that's going to score a run. Proctor picks it up, and the runner's going to go to third base. So Pagosa scores their second run on the base hit to right field. So runners at first and third, and top of the order, Zach Poyer comes to the plate. Brush with a 4-2 lead. Pagosa scoring a run in the third, now one in the fourth. Pitch is just outside. A ball, no strikes. Swinging strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Zach Poyer. As Edgar took a little bit off that, spun it up to the plate. Poyer swings out on his front foot through that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that ball popped up. And Landon goes out. And Dylan Krob ends up coming in and grabbing that for the out. So pop out to short center field. And all the runners stay right where they are. So 2 outs. Sebastian Gonzalez comes to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day. Swinging strike, Sebastian Gonzalez. Edgar ahead, no balls and a strike, 2 outs. Pitch to the plate, ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to number 1, Sebastian Gonzalez. Checking the runner at first, third, and now we got a runner that is runner went to second and kind of faked going and then stopped, and Edgar's come off the rubber, faked the throw to second, runner at third, faked the throw to third, and then he threw to Landon at shortstop. And then Landon ends up getting the ball, and Landon throws the ball to the plate, low and in the dirt to Eli. And Pagosa is able to steal their second run. Pitches outside. So Moncada was able to come in and score. And that was on a stolen base, basically, is what ended up happening. And that ball hit to Azavel Betrez, picks it up, throws over to first base for the third out, but Pagosa Springs scores 2 runs on 2 hits here in the top of the 4th inning. So after 3.5 innings of play, Brush 4, Pagosa Springs 3, you're listening to B Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, Brush with a 4-3 lead. And Malachi Teal will lead off for the Beat Diggers, and then the top of the order, Landon Mesh, Trenton Garrett to follow. For Brush, through their 3 innings of offense, 4 runs on 4 hits, and they've left 4 runners. Pagosa Springs, 3 runs on 5 hits, and they've left 5 runners. And here we are going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Close ball game. See what Brush does here, as they've had runners on every single inning, but so is Pagosa Springs. So it's going to be who comes up with the last at bat, which is going to be Brush since they're the home team, and that's always a good thing. It's kind of like the Avs the other night when they pulled out a miracle, beating the Minnesota Wild down 3-0 in the first period, and they were able to come back and get them tied up in 3, and that ball hit by Malachi Teal fouled out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Malachi. And then the Avalanche were able to score about 3 minutes and 30 seconds into overtime in order to be able to pull out the victory, as well as series lead and win 4-1 over the Minnesota Wild. That ball is fouled out of play by Malachi Teal. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Landon Mesh on deck. The pitch is upstairs and out of the zone. That pitch out of the zone as well. Count to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch to Malachi Teal on its way. And that ball is hit towards shortstop about 3 hops and goes underneath his glove. We're going to give Teal a base hit on that, as that proved a little bit tricky, as it hit and didn't come up. Must have hit a rock out there, and so the shortstop wasn't able to come up with that. So Teal on at first. Zach Poyer is the shortstop, senior for the Pirates. Landon Mesh 2 for 2 on the day. Teal on at first. Taylor Wells, the pitch to the plate, and that ball hit out to left center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And Teal is able to stand on second, and as he comes to third, they throw it around, but umpire ends up calling him out at third base. He's standing about 50 feet away, but Teal out at third, but Landon Mesh with a base hit to left center field. Mesh on at first, and as they threw from left field to second base, Teal sees the throw go through, but the first baseman was backing up, and Teal ends up getting tagged out, so it went from left fielder to the first baseman to third baseman. So 7-3-5 on the put out. That ball is 1 hopper to third base. Hudson Davis. Davis picks it up on the fielder's choice and throws to second base to get the out. So Trenton Garrett on at first on the fielder's choice. Pitch to Keaton Jillick, a strike. So 2 outs in the inning. Garrett, good lead at first, and safe. He started to break towards towards second base, but had to come back to the bag. Gets there by a fingertip. And that ball over to first base to see if Garrett is indeed going. He's not, and he's safe. So Jillick down on the count, no balls and a strike, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch to the plate, and that ball's hit out to Wells, past him over to second base over to first base. Sebastian Gonzalez to Jonathan Mancada for the out, 4-3 on the put out. So for Brush, they had no runs on 1 hit, and they leave a runner. So after 4 complete innings of play, Brush 4, Pagosa Springs 3, you're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 4 innings in the book, Brush with a 4-3 lead over Pagosa Springs. We go to the top of the 5th inning. This game just moving along. Taylor Wells to the plate for the Pirates. Top of the 5th. Edgar Ortiz on the hill for the Beat Diggers. Pitch number 52 for Edgar, and that's in the dirt. Edgar, I'm not going to say that he's been dominant throwing strikes today, but so far so good. Pitch is outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 28 strikes, 25 balls for Ortiz. Pitch to the plate. in the dirt. Eli Klein blocks it. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. And that ball's fouled towards the B-Digger dugout down the third baseline. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 5th inning, Taylor Wells. Ortiz, the pitch, just upstairs, full count. Ortiz, no strikeouts today, but he's walked 3 batters for Pagosa Springs. The pitch, just outside, ball 4, so that's the 4th base on ball that Edgar Ortiz has given up today. Aaron Soule, double to straightaway center field last time. It wasn't a double. He got to second base on the air by Dylan Krupp. So Taylor Wells leads off at first, pitch to the plate. And that pitch, a ball. Pitch was up in the eyes of Aaron Soule. Runner goes, and that ball is hit out to left field. Teal grabs it, gets it in, and safe at first is Taylor Wells as he was taken off on the pitch, but Teal with the out in left field. And then the throw to first base almost got Taylor Wells as he didn't get back quick enough, but as he slides, he gets in, and Jillick applied the tag, but just a hair late. Kason Limebrook, 0 for 1 on the day, walked and hit a ball to, and then we had a double play, 6 unassisted, over to Jillick at first, Landon Mesh, 6-3, 6-3 unassisted for the double play. That's second double play for the Beat Diggers today. So we'll go a quick double play, 6-3 on the ground out. And Mesh had that played just perfect. Edgar Ortiz will come up to bat for the Beat Diggers in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brush with a 4-3 lead. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Rush Beat Diggers with a 4-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kevin Fergus with you on 1010 KSIR and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush traveled 8 hours, maybe closer to 9 hours to be able to get to Cortez yesterday. I drove from Brush to Pagosa Springs. I spent the night in Pagosa Springs, and I drove the 2 hours this morning. I'm glad I did. As I talked to some of the parents, there was one set of parents as they were coming down yesterday. They were coming from Pagosa Springs towards Cortez, and there was an elk on the road. And with that, I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, scary situation nonetheless. Avoided anything to cause any damage or hurt or anything like that, but just one of those where it's like you're in the mountains. Goodness, I mean, you got deer, you got antelope, well, not antelope, elk, and the sun would have been shining right in the eyes. If I would have kept coming to Cortez, the sun would have been in my eyes that whole time. Anyway, bottom of the 5th inning, Brush with a 4-3 lead. Taylor Wells on the hill for Pagosa Springs. He pitched to Edgar Ortiz. A ball. Earlier in the game, I was thinking Taylor Wells was accumulating a lot of pitches, but really here we are in the 5th inning, and that ball is hit down the left field line, and that's going to go up to the fence. Edgar Ortiz digging for a double. So Ortiz with a double, and we will have a courtesy runner. Colton Osborne will come out. Dylan Krob to the plate. So Colton Osborne at second base, running for the pitcher Edgar Ortiz, courtesy runner. Dylan Krob at the plate, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth inning, Krob bunts down the first baseline, foul. Good idea, being able to get that runner over to third. See if Brush still has that play on. Osborne needs to make sure that if he is going to bunt it, that it's going to go to the turf, not popped up. And that pitch, inside curveball to Krob, it would have hit him, but he ends up getting his bat out, probably more in defense of anything, and he fouls it towards third base dugout. So, nope. Balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second for Brush. Dylan Krob, 0-2 in the count. Pitch is upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out after the Edgar Ortiz double. Runner at second. The 1-2 pitch. That ball is fouled. And the umpire didn't call foul. And they're going to throw that ball. Okay. Second base umpire is going to come in and say that ball was hit by the batter, came off his shin. And that's the right call. Home plate umpire, probably shielded from the catcher, probably didn't see just the way it came off the bat and then came off the batter, and it ended up going into fair ground. Anyway, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at second. Pitch to the plate, and that ball hit to third. Krob is going to get on at first on the air by the third baseman, Hudson Davis. Davis hitting his glove and then dropped it, picked it up, dropped it again. So runners at first and second. Azavel Betrez comes to the plate. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And that ball is bunted towards third base, and everybody's going to be safe all the way around. So Betrez bunts for a single into no man's land. It was between the pitcher's mound and third base. Third baseman retreated to the bag. Pitcher Wells comes over in order to field it, but couldn't, after he picked it up, with a play anywhere. So Brush, bases loaded. Colton Osborne at third, Dylan Krob at second, Azavel Betrez at first. Dakota Proctor will come to the plate. And we've got powwow at the mound real quick as Coach Wells comes out and talks. Better Electric, covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better does matter. Call 970-521-1030. So bases loaded. As Coach Wells just want to make sure pitcher's doing okay. He's only got 64 pitches. But make sure his infield settles and they do what they need to do. Looks like they're in on the corners. Double play depth at second and short. Pitch a strike to Dakota Proctor. Proctor down on the count. No balls and a strike. Bases juice. This is the opportunity that Brush needs. Break this game open right here. Pitch. That ball is hit down the right field line. It's going to go foul and out of play. So Proctor down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. .66 pitches for Taylor Wells, 44 strikes, 22 balls. I like that 2-to-1 ratio as a pitcher. Pitch, swung at and missed. Batter is out. Swinging strikeout. Runners remain at first, second, and third. Eli Klein comes to the plate. 0 for 1 officially on the day. Hit by pitch in his first at bat. Struck out his last at bat. 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Brush with a 4-3 lead. And that ball hit towards second base. Over to the shortstop Hoyer. Over to first base for a 4-6-3 double play. So after 5 innings, Brush 4, Pagosa Springs 3. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush has 2 double plays in order to get out of the inning, and Pagosa Springs has 1 as they were able to get out of the bottom of the 5th innings. Brush had the bases loaded, and the ball was hit to their second baseman over to the shortstop for the first out, and then over to second base, or over to first base for the third out in the inning. Noah Bellina will lead off. Brush with 4 runs on 8 hits. Pagosa Springs 3 runs on 5 hits. Brush with 7 runners left on base. Pagosa Springs with 5 runners left on base. Noah Bellina 2 for 2 on the day. Bellina coming into the game hitting .295, 18 hits, 14 RBIs, 7 doubles, 2 triples, and he has 2 singles so far today. From the full windup, Edgar Ortiz to the plate, and that ball is fouled. So Ortiz ahead in the count. That inning started off so promising with Edgar Ortiz getting a double, and then Brush ended up stranding the runner. The pitch just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ortiz, the pitch. That ball is popped up. It's going to be out of play. Foul over the third base dugout. Home team's dugout is third base. Brush wins this game. They'll have to move over to the first base dugout as Montezuma Cortez, they're the higher seed, would end up taking over the third base dugout. That pitch in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Noah Bellina, the sophomore. Dylan Dempster on deck for the Pirates. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Noah Bellina. Not a big guy. Slight open stance. The payoff pitch. Ball hit towards Lannon over long hop to Keaton, but safe. Infield single for Bellina. Dempster to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. Fielder's choice, and then grounded out. Bellina with 3 hits for the Pirates, 3 of their 6 hits. And the runner goes, ball thrown to center field. Stolen base. So 1 ball, no strikes to Dempster. One ball, no strikes, nobody out. Pitch inside. 2-0 to number 27, Dylan Dempster. Jonathan Moncada on deck. He's walked his both at times, so we don't really want him at the plate. Pitch is hit out towards shortstop and over to first base for the out. 6-3 for the put-out. Landon Mesh gets the ball on the second hop, and a Derek Jeter-esque hop and throw to get him. Runner stays at second. As the play was in front of him, so 1 out, Jonathan Moncada from the left side. 2 walks on the day, as I mentioned. Belina on at second base. Pitch. And that ball is popped up. And Trenton Garrett in foul ground dives and gets out. And Coach Wells is saying that ball hit the ground. That ball hit the ground. So the third base umpire is going to call time. He's going to come and he's going to just ask the first base umpire, but that's a third base umpire's call all the way. Home plate umpire is not going to be able to see whether that ball hit the ground or not. The 3 umpires together, they talk. I think the first base umpire saying, that's your call all the way. You take it. Whatever you call, we're with you 100%. Home plate umpire can't overrule that. Batter is out. So nice play by Trenton Garrett in foul ground for the out. The second out in the inning. Coach Wells disappointed that that didn't go in his favor, but Trenton Garrett made a diving stab at it. I'm not sure what he saw, if he just saw his elbow hit the ground and maybe thought he saw that the ball hit the ground as well, but I think Garrett in his glove, it was clearly in his glove. So 2 outs in the inning. Hudson Davis pitched to him, ball 1. Hudson Davis is our guy with the green bat with pink batting gloves. 2 outs in the inning. Brush with a 4-3 lead. Pitch from Edgar, and that pitch swung out and missed as Hudson Davis swings over the top of that pitch. Number 9 hitter in the Pagosa Springs lineup. Let's get this guy right here. Pitch from Edgar to the plate. Strike 2. Hudson Davis 1 for 2 on the day. And Noah Belina steals third base. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's get out right here, not turn the lineup over. 2 outs in the inning. Brush with a 4-3 lead. The pitch from the stretch. Pitch is upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hudson Davis, third baseman. A 2-2 pitch. Edgar to the plate, and that ball hit towards first base and into right field, and that's going to tie the game up. Base hit, RBI single to right field as it just gets underneath Keaton Gillick's glove and into right field. Top of the order, Zach Poyer comes to the plate. Edgar Ortiz, 75 pitches. This is not the limit that Edgar usually gets to, and then it seems like he hits the wall. Runner at first, 2 outs in the inning, score tied. Swung and missed by Poyer. Rush 4, Pagosa Springs 4, top of the 6th inning. Pitch to the plate. That ball is hit out to left field. And Landon Mesh is out, grabs it, short left field for the 3rd out. Nonetheless, Pagosa Springs scores a run on a hit, and they strand a runner. So after 5.5 innings of play, Brush and Pagosa tied up. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Beautiful baseball weather in Cortez, Colorado, McAndrew Field, 510 miles from Brush. That's going through Alamosa and going over Wolf Creek Pass that direction. I think there might be a shorter way to be able to go through Denver and come through Salida down to Monte Vista. That might cut about an hour off the whole drive. But beautiful baseball weather. And there's some clouds in the sky scattered around. but not rain clouds by any stretch of the imagination. For Brush, as we come to the bottom of the sixth inning, Malachi Teal, 9-1-2 for the Beat Diggers here in the bottom of the sixth. A pitch swung and missed by Teal. Strike one. Taylor Wells, pitch number 70, his next pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Seven pitches, 47 strikes, 23 balls. The pitch swung and missed by Teal. Pitch was tailing away from Teal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a weak swing. Strike 3, strikeout. Number 4 for Taylor Wells. Landon Mesh, 3 for 3 on the day. 3 of Brush's 8 hits. Brush 4 runs on 8 hits. Pagosa Springs 4 runs on 7 hits. From the left side, Landon Mesh, and that ball hit towards first. Landon Mesh is 4 for 4. He's on first base with a single. Sometimes Landon just makes it look so easy, so effortless in order to be able to swing and get a base hit. So Mesh on at first. Ideally, what Brush would need to do would be able to get him to where he scores, get 3 outs, and then we can tuck this one to bed. Pitch. And that ball is hit towards shortstop Poyer, over to second, and looked to me like he pulled his foot, but Mesh out at second as Poyer turns and throws to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the out at second base. So, fielder's choice. Shortstop to second base. Out. Force out. Hold up. So 2 outs in the 6th inning. Keaton Gillick pops it up to short right field, and that ball is going to drop for a single. Short right field, single. Garrett to second. Gillick on at first. Edgar Ortiz, who had a double his last at bat, comes to the plate. Four tie. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. Pitches in the dirt. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position at second base, Trenton Garrett. Pitch to the plate. And that ball popped up. And Poyer out and makes the catch for the out. So we will go to the 7th inning, all tied up. Brush 4, Pagosa Springs 4. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush makes a pitching change as we go to the 7th inning. Landon Mesh will come in and pitch. Azavel Betrez goes to shortstop. Keaton Gillick will go to second base. I think that takes care of what we need. So let's take a look at Landon Mesh numbers. Landon Mesh, 6.10 ERA, 2-2 is his record. This will be his 11th appearance. 20 2/3 innings, 9 base on balls, 26 strikeouts for the senior Landon Mesh. Sebastian Gonzalez will come to the plate for Pagosa Springs in the top of the 7th inning. Gonzalez 1 for 3 on the day, single his first at bat, grounded out his last 2 at bats. So for Brush, Teal in left, Cobb in center, Proctor in right, Garrett at third, Betrez at shortstop, Jillick at second base. First base is Edgar Ortiz. Eli Klein behind the plate. Landon Mesh on the hill, strike 1 to Sebastian Gonzalez. The 0-1 pitch. That ball is fouled to the screen. Mesh ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Taylor Wells on deck for Pagosa. Open stance by Gonzalez. Wagging the bat. 0-2 is the count. Pitch is just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4-4 game. 7th inning between 2 teams that are 13-10. Brush 14 seed. Pagosa Springs a 19 seed, and that ball is fouled to the screen. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Landon Mesh, the senior, gets a sign from Eli Klein. The pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The next pitch to the plate. And that ball hit towards shortstop. Betrez. Error. And the runner on at first. Taylor Wells to the plate. We'll see what Coach Jonathan Wells puts on with the number 3 hitter in their lineup coming to the plate, best hitter for the team. Sebastian Gonzalez, 2 for 4 on at first. See if Brush can get another double play and make up for Betrez's error, and that pitch is outside, ball 1. Mesh, the 1-0 pitch to the plate. And that pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Taylor Wells. 0 for 1 on the day, sac fly, and then grounded out, and he also walked. Short lead by Gonzalez. Hit by pitch. Mesh. Edgar Ortiz didn't strike out anybody, didn't hit anybody, but he walked 4 batters. Landon Mesh hit his first batter. Nobody out for Pagosa Springs. And Aaron Soule comes to the plate. And that ball is hit out towards center, and it's going to drop. Get the out at third, first out at third. And Gonzalez had to wait in order to see if that ball was going to drop. The other 2 runners obviously moved up. Cobb wasn't able to grab it, but then picked it up and threw an out. So give him a single to short center field, but then the out at third, force out. And so runners at first and second, 1 out. Kason Linebrook to the plate. Garrett got the ball, and he wasn't on the bag, so he tagged the runner. So it went from 8 to 5 for the put out. 1 out in the inning. In a 4-4 tie, top of the 7th inning. Brush and Pagosa Springs, you would expect that 2 13-10 teams would be going to the 7th inning tied up. Landon Mesh, the pitch to the plate. to Aaron Soul. That ball is fouled to the screen. Oh, Kason Linebrook. Aaron Soul ended up having a single to center field. So Kason Linebrook, 0-1 is a count. Pitch fouled, out of play. Runner from second to third, Taylor Wells, was off at the pitch. He has 14 stolen bases coming into today's game. So Linebrook down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. They're 1 out. 4-4 tie, top of the 7th inning. Mesh to the plate, and that ball's fouled. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes. So runners at first and second. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swung and miss. Strikeout number 1 for Landon Mesh. So that's the second out in the inning. So 2 outs in the inning. Noah Belina, Mr. 3 for 3, comes to the plate. But all 3 of those at bats were against Edgar Ortiz. Now he faces Landon Mesh. Different pitcher altogether than Edgar Ortiz. But they still have to throw the little white pill to the catcher through the batter's box. Taylor Wells takes 1 step towards third. Mesh takes a step off the rubber. Wells goes back. So 4-4 tie. That ball is fouled to the screen. Mesh ahead in the count. No balls and a strike. So runners at first and second for Pagosa Springs. 2 outs. And a pickoff of Taylor Wells. And he's back in safely. So no balls and a strike, 2 outs. 4-4 is our score. Top of the 7th inning. Brush gets their opportunity in the bottom half of the inning. Pitch to the plate, and that ball hit. And that ball is going to be foul down the left field fence line and out of play. So Mesh ahead in the count with 1 strikeout in his 2/3 of an inning. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitches upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Landon Mesh, pitch, low and in the dirt, throw down, and safe. And, oh, I thought the runner came off the bag, and Garrett reapplied the tag. But the umpire was about 6 to 8 feet away. It says safe. So double steal. Pitch was a ball, so 2-2 is the count. Stolen base to third. So runner at second and third for Pagosa Springs. Noah Belina, Mr. 3 for 3 on the day, and the pitch low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch to Belina. First base is open. Dylan Dempster back and swinging, strike 3. So Pagosa Springs does not score, and Landon Mesh strikes out his second in the inning. Pagosa Springs, no runs, and they have 1 hit, and they leave 2 runners on base. So after 6.5 innings of play, the score is 4-4. Brush coming to the plate to see if they can end this in regulation in the 7th inning. You're listening to Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush and Pagosa Springs tied 4-4 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Dylan Krob will lead off. 5-6-7 for the Bee Diggers. See if we can get the bottom part of this order in order to do some magic, score a run, be able to get this victory, and then they can play Cortez in about a half an hour, 40 minutes. Anyway, Taylor Wells on the hill for Pagosa Springs, 77 pitches, so he should be able to last at least through the 7th inning and maybe into the 8th inning if it goes that far. Taylor Wells finishes up his warm-up tosses. Aaron Sewell throws down to second base to Zach Poyer. Brush 4 runs on 10 hits. Pagosa Springs 4 runs on 8 hits. Pagosa's left 8, Brush's left 9. See if Brush can get a run here in the bottom of the 7th to secure the victory in this regional tilt in Cortez at McAndrew Field. The pitch to the plate, and that ball hit left field, base hit for Dylan Krob. Hard hit to left field. So Krob on at first, Cortez to the plate. Cortez had a bunt single his last time. He just put the ball right where nobody was. Now he might be sacrificing. Krob on at first, the pitch to the plate, and the sacrifice bunt. And that ball is going to go to the pitcher, to the first baseman, and Krob over to second base. So the sacrifice bunt by Cortez moves Krob to second base. 1 out. Dakota Proctor to the plate. See how Pagosa Springs plays this. Runners are first and third base and on the grass. Second and short, deep pitch. Proctor fouls that out of play. Base hit to the outfield. Should score Krob. Eli Klein on deck for the Beat Diggers. Base hit here should take care of it, but nonetheless, the senior in the on-deck circle. Pitch to the plate. That's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second, bottom of the 7th inning. 4-4 is our score. The winner faces Cortez. A pitch to the plate. Swing and miss. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch to the plate. Pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dakota Proctor, playing right field today for the Beat Diggers. 4-4 is our score. Runner at second. Get him in, and Brush wins. 2-2 is our count to Proctor. Have a productive at bat here, Dakota. Either score him or move him up. And that ball is hit out in front of the plate, and he'll go to first base. So catcher Soul ends up picking that up, throwing to first. So 2-3 on the put out. And Dylan Krob moves to third base. 2 outs. Eli Klein at the plate. Wild pitch, pass ball, could win the game for Brush. But Soul's been a pretty good catcher for Pagosa Springs. That pitch, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Eli Klein. And that pitch hits Klein. He'll go to first base. We'll get a courtesy runner for Klein, even though his run doesn't matter. What we need is Dylan Krob to be able to cross home plate in order to be able to secure victory for the Beat Diggers. Malachi Teal comes to the plate. Bentley Talent to first base to run for Eli Klein. Oh, he had a single to left, and he advanced on a sacrifice bunt. Had somebody in the stands asking exactly what happened, and so Dylan Krob at third, Malachi Teal at the plate, and that ball is fouled out of play. So runners at first and third. The one that matters is the one at third. Malachi Teal can get a base hit right here, can win the game for the Beat Diggers. Landon Mesh on deck. Pitch is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Teal hits from the left side. Landon Mesh hits from the left side. Taylor Wells, 88 pitches. Bentley Talent at first. Pitches inside. And Talent goes to second base on defensive indifference. They didn't even throw down. So second and third, first base is open. Malachi Teal pitch inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Malachi, you're looking for a pitch in one particular spot in your hot zone. You get that pitch, you swing. If not, you let it go. Could be a strike, but put it in play. Get a run in right here. Pitch to the plate. Ball 4. So that's the first base on ball that Taylor Wells has given up. And Coach Jonathan Wells calls time. He's going to come out and talk to his infield with the bases loaded. Landon Mesh, 4 for 4 on the day, comes to the plate, leadoff hitter for the Beat Diggers. So everybody's going to come and talk to Coach Odell. Yep. And Coach Wells out to talk to his guys out at the mound, making sure his infield does everything. Rudy's Tires, with several locations across the area, there's always a Rudy's Tire location close by. And they can even come to you on the farm. Rudy's Tires brings you Eastern Plains Sports Today, now at 3 p.m. weekdays on 1010 KSIR. So winning run, third base, Landon Mesh at the plate. No place to put Mesh. 4 for 4 on the day. Krob at third. That's all that matters for the Beat Diggers. Pitch to the plate. And that ball is popped up in the infield. And the third baseman and the pitcher run into one another. The pitcher, Wells, ends up hauling it in. So we go to extra innings. Score is 4-4. Brush and Pagosa, extra innings. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush had an excellent opportunity in order to be able to score in the bottom of the 7th inning. They had bases loaded and their best hitter at the plate, and he pops it up. First, the out ended up going to the pitcher, but as the pitcher ended up catching it, the third baseman thought he had it, and he ended up running into the pitcher. I mean, it would have been one of those where third baseman runs into the pitcher, they drop the ball, Brush ends up scoring the winning run on an error. Wow. Anyway, that did not happen. So Landon Mesh ends up on the hill for the Beat Diggers. Dylan Dempster to the plate. Brush 4 runs, 11 hits, leaves 12 on base. Pagosa Springs 4 runs, 8 hits, and has left 8 on base. First pitch to Dempster, a ball. Landon Mesh the next pitch. And that ball hit one hopper to Garrett at third, over to first. Edgar Ortiz, 5-3 on the putout. Nice and easy. Jonathan Mancata to the plate. 1 out for Pagosa Springs. Moncada hits from the left side. Mesh the pitch. That ball hit up the middle for a base hit. So Moncada at first with one out. Hudson Davis to the plate. He's the 9-hole hitter. 2 for 3 on the day. 4-4 score. Top of the 8th inning. Extra innings. Runner at first. Pitch in the dirt. Ball, no strikes to Hudson Davis. Coach Wells does not have a play on. Runner at first isn't going anywhere. Pitch low. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to number 15, Hudson Davis, the third baseman. That ball hit sharply to right field for a base hit. And Coach Wells is going to hold everybody up. So runners at first and second, one out. Hey, Brush has got them right where they want them. Get another double play here. Brush has had 2 double plays in the game early in the second and the third innings, if I recall. Might have been the first. No, it wasn't the first. It was the second and third innings. Runners at first and second. Poyer at the plate. Pitched a ball to Poyer. Runners at first and second, one out. Pitch low. 2 balls, no strikes. Wind is picked up, going from the left field corner to the right field corner. (2-0) pitch to Poyer. That ball is hit towards shortstop, and Cortez fumbles the ball, and everybody is safe. So error on Cortez. So runners all the way around the bases. Moncada at third, Davis at second, Poyer at first. Sebastian Gonzalez, 1 for 4 on the day, comes to the plate with 1 out. Brush playing their infield in on the grass. From the full windup, Landon Mesh. That ball is hit out to right field. And Dakota Proctor goes out, catches it, and Pagosa is going to be able to get a run on the sacrifice fly. 2 outs in the inning. Runners at first and second did not go anywhere, but Pagosa Springs takes the first lead that they've had in this game here in the top of the 8th inning. 2 outs in the inning. Taylor Wells at the plate. Brush had an excellent opportunity in order to be able to score the winning run in the bottom of the 7th, but didn't. Pagosa scores a run here in the top of the 8th to take a 5-4 lead. Wells fouls that out of play. Pitch to the plate, and that ball is hit. Wells pops it up. Landon Mesh over, and Edgar Ortiz takes it. But Pagosa Springs scores a run on 2 hits here in the inning. And sacrifice fly is what gets that 5th run in. Brush comes to the plate in the bottom of the 8th, trying to tie the score to be able to extend the game or be able to score 2 in order to be able to win it. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball. It is Pagosa Springs 5, Brush 4. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush with their backs against the wall as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brush is down a run. 5-4, Pagosa Springs with the lead. Trenton Garrett comes to the plate for the Beat Diggers. 2, 3, 4 hitters for Brush. See if they can get something done here against Taylor Wells. Taylor Wells going into the inning has 92 pitches. Gave up his first base on ball last inning, but it didn't hurt him. Taylor Wells, in his 92 pitches, given up 1 base on balls and 3 hit by pitches, and has 4 strikeouts on the day. Trenton Garrett, 1 for 4 on the day. And that ball is fouled out of play. Rush scored a run in the first inning, 3 in the second, and that's been it for the Beat Diggers, and that ball is fouled at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes to Trenton Garrett. Taylor Wells, the next pitch. That ball is hit towards shortstop. Poyer picks it up, throws over to first. Moncada for the out. 6-3 for the putout. 2-hopper to Poyer. Moncada, big tall guy, and is able to pull that in. Keaton Gillick grounded out. Had a base hit his last time. That ball hit up the middle for base hit. The center field for Gillick. 2 for 5 on the day for Keaton Gillick. Edgar Ortiz comes to the plate. Dylan Krob on deck. Taylor Wells, the pitch to the plate, and that ball popped up second base, and second baseman Sebastian Gonzalez over and pulls that in for the out. 2 outs in the inning, rushed down to their last hitter. And now the wind is really blowing. It's blowing my papers, it's blowing my hat, and that ball is fouled off by Dylan Krob. Hit up the middle for a base hit. Gillick over to second base. So Dylan Krob has 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats, just like Keaton Gillick. So runners at second and third, first and second for the Beat Diggers. Azavel Betrez to the plate for the Beat Diggers. 2 outs. Pagosa with a 5-4 lead. 8th inning, pitch to the plate. Betrez hits the ball to first base. First baseman steps on the bag. Pagosa Springs beats the Brush Beat Diggers 5-4. Goodness sakes. 100 pitches for Taylor Wells as Betrez grounds out to the first baseman. So we'll take a short break and come back, and we'll recapture everything coming into this. But Pagosa Springs takes the victory 5-4 over the Brush Beat Diggers. You've been listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Digger season comes to a close. They finish with a 13-10 record as they lose to Pagosa Springs 5-4. Brush had an excellent opportunity in the bottom of the 7th inning in order to be able to score. They loaded the bases, and Landon Mesh came up 4 for 4 on the day and popped up to the infield. Pitcher ended up catching it. Then in the 8th inning, Moncada got a single, Davis got a single, Poyer reached base on an error that loaded the bases, And then Sebastian Gonzalez ends up hitting fly ball to right field. Dakota Proctor and Jonathan Moncada comes in and scores. So that's how they ended up scoring their 5th run. Pagosa Springs scored a run in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and that run in the 8th that I just recapped. Brush scored 1 run in the 1st and 3 in the 3rd, and then that was it. Post-game show is brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, providing a big firm product with small firm relationships since 2003. Visit westerneci.com. For Pagosa Springs, Taylor Wells went all 8 innings, 100 pitches, 68 strikes. That's easy to figure. Gave up all 4 runs. 2 of them were earned and 2 of them unearned. Had 5 strikeouts and 1 base on ball. And let's see, and he had 4 hit by pitches. This is what he ended up doing. So Taylor Wells did what he needed to on the mound for Pagosa Springs. And let's see, for Pagosa, they had 10 hits up and down their lineup, but Noah Belina was 3 for 4, and Hudson Davis was 3 for 4. And let's see, and Davis had 2 RBIs out of their 5 runs. For Brush, Edgar Ortiz goes 6 innings and threw 77 pitches. And Landon Mesh came in and pitched the last 2 innings and had 31 pitches. Ortiz gave up the 4 runs, and all 4 were earned. And he had no strikeouts and 4 base on balls and no hit by pitches. Landon Mesh in his 2 innings of work gave up the run. It was unearned and had 2 strikeouts and gave up the 3 hits. For Brush on batting, Landon Mesh was 4 for 5, Keaton Jillick 2 for 5, and Dylan Krob 2 for 5. So that's 8 of their 13 hits. But Brush comes up short in the regional game, and they lose to Pagosa Springs 5-4. Pagosa Springs will face Cortez, Montezuma Cortez, in about a half an hour. So Pagosa Springs, 5 runs, 10 hits. They had 3 errors, and they left 10 runners on base. Brush, 4 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors, and they leave 14 runners on base. They had many opportunities, but they just weren't able to get them around to score. Nonetheless, Brush's season comes to an end, and the winner between Montezuma Cortez and Pagosa Springs will go to Greeley to Butch Butler in University High School next Friday and Saturday. That's a long trip, whether it's from Cortez or whether it's from Pagosa. Good luck to them as they move on. So Brush's season comes to a close. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Baseball is Rose Condis. I'm Kevin Fergus with the final score, Pagosa Springs 5, Brush 4. You've been listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.